Dear Wild Hunters friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm gonna show you a new product by Sightmark. It's a scope of the Presidio line, the 1.59 times 45 mm with the special HDR ballistic reticle. So this scope has some peculiar features that are specially made for the European hunters. We will see together which are which kind of peculiar features I'm talking about, but I hardly wanted to test it because our habitats, our species of games are very peculiar of the European continent, so we need some special specification on our scopes in order to cope exactly with our needs. And this scope, together with another model, the 2.5 15 times 50 millimeters, that has another HDR reticle, the number 2, are specially made for our market. But I say market, but I'm talking about our game animals, our shooting, the average shooting distances, our environment. So I'm talking about this. First of all, these scopes are specially made in order to be very reliable and tough, because we normally hunt in extreme conditions, especially in the winter time. So the chassis has been made with aircraft grade aluminium. It has a single piece 30 millimeter tube, is shock proof, and also is dust proof and waterproof through the IP67 rated system of construction. As you can see, it has capped and tactical low profile turrets. The reticle, in this case for both the scopes, but in particular this one, the 1.59 times 45, is in the second focal plane, and its ballistic reticle features are made to work perfectly at the maximum magnification, which is in this case the 9. Okay, it has also a red illuminated reticle, and in particular is not all illuminated, but just the central part, the central red dot. Okay, but I will talk to you later about the specific feature of this reticle that to my way of thinking is the quintessential sense of its existence on the market. Okay, I have mounted this Sightmark scope on an Alessandro Contessa quick detachable mount, okay, on a bolt action rifle chambered in 223 Remington caliber. This is a caliber that I extensively use for roe deer and also for culling wild boar. Okay, the reason why I have mounted the Alessandro Contessa quick detachable system is because in this case I can pass quickly from a day hunting situation with a conventional scope like this Presidio to a night mode for culling wild boar, with the mini bright thermal unit by Sightmark. I can switch the two scope and night device in few seconds without losing the zeroing, because this system is so accurate that I don't have to mind too much about the zeroing. Okay, as you can see, there is a third turret here with two different regulations. One is for the parallax adjustment, and the other one is for the rheostat of the central dot illuminated, and you can adjust with the 6 different levels of intensification of the light, of the illumination of the central red dot. Okay, now I want to show you some pictures, and also I want to show you not only of the scope and of the Alessandro Contessa quick detachable mounts, but also I want to give you the exact reloading data of my ammunition, that I did it with the Baschieri and Pellagri new carbon powder, in order to duplicate a commercial, standard commercial ammunition, which is the Federal Power Shock with the 55 grains Sierra soft point Spitzer bullet. Okay, now I want to show you all these details, and then we will come back again on the studio, because I want to spend some very important words about the logistic of this test, and also the specs of this fantastic HDR reticle. Welcome back to the studio. Okay, let's focus our attention on this special ballistic reticle by Sightmark, the HDR, on the second focal plane. Again, mind that all the managing operation that we do to compensate our bullet path must be done at the maximum magnification of this scope, so at 9. Okay, if you pretend to do at the other magnification, you won't do it, because it's a second focal plane reticle. Okay, so in this reticle that I consider perfect for the European, the standard European hunting, has 4 different refs. Okay, as you have seen in the picture that I showed you just a few seconds ago, this reticle resemble a little bit the German 4, but it has a central part with a red dot that is illuminated, and then you have a wide area around the central dot, which is free of any line, of disturbing line. This is because when you are going to use the central dot, especially with low light situations, you need more space, more open space, okay, in order to exactly place your dot and obviously your bullet in the target, okay? So it is necessary, it's mandatory to have space and a free area around the dot, the central dot. Then you have 4 points of refs in order to build your ballistic curve path, okay? So let's start from the upper point. If you see the vertical part of the crosshair has an apex at just 2 moa up the central dot. This means with this caliber and with that cartridge, if you zero at 200 meters the central dot, the apex of the upper part of the crosshair is at 2 moa, that corresponds at 100 meters. On the reverse, the apex of the lower part of the crosshair is 2 moa and it corresponds at 275 meters. So just in 1 millimeter of space you have 2 refs, you have 3 refs, okay? 200 meters in the center, 100 meters up, 275 meters down. And these are the 3 main points at which, with the 223 Remington caliber, 95% of your games will drop down. Because over 300 meters is not the case with a 223, at least on big animals. If you do varmint, no problem. With the varmint games, there is no problem. But, you know, for selective hunting or for culling big boars, you need to shoot with this caliber, very accurate, but at short and medium range, okay, distance. So, in just 1 millimeter of space, you have all the 3 distances refs that you need. But there is also another ref that has been placed at 10 moa. Frankly speaking, I don't know. I didn't know what is the function, because for example in a 223 caliber it corresponds at 475 meters, which is too much for a 223 Remington caliber. So I tried to understand which can be the function of a 10 moa ref. But because even with the 308 Winchester, we are talking about a very long distance. Okay, I'm talking about at least 500 meters. So passing from 300 to 500 is just too much. So I try to understand which is the point. And I soon I discover, I don't know if Sightmark has thought about this, but I think so, because, okay, 10 moa is a perfect ref if you use a 308 subsonic bullet, a subsonic cartridge, because a 10 moa ref means that you can shoot at 80 meters with a subsonic cartridge with the 308 Winchester. So the subsonic cartridges are very popular now in Italy, especially for culling wild boar around towns and houses, homes, because especially in the summertime, the wild boars are used to come very close to the houses, and you cannot shoot with conventional ammunition because you make it too much noise, especially very early in the morning or very late in the evening. You do not want to disturb people. So you need to use subsonic cartridges, and in this case you have your regular 3 points of impact, and with the 308 I mean 200, 100, 300 meters. Then you have the 10 MOA in order to use it with a subsonic at 80 meters. So I don't know if Sightmark has done it with this in mind or not, but I think so. Because there are no other reason to put a 10 MOA. Maybe a 5 MOA has a lot of sense, but 10 MOA has a sense only if you use subsonic cartridges, which is the standard for many hunters, especially in the US, but also here, for example, in Tuscany, we use them very much, and we have a lot of problem in the use of that low velocities, very low velocity cartridges. So you need to have a special reticle made for it, and this HDR reticle is especially made for having the possibility to use two different kind of ammunition with the same rifle, with the same scope, which is magic. Okay, so now no more talking. Now let's go to the shooting range at the Armeria Innocenti gun shop. I want to pre-zero with my 223 conventional ammunition at 66 meters. Then I will pass up to another shooting range for 200 meters, and then I will check the reticle at 100 and 300 meters, and then we will go on the hunting field. See you very soon. Okay, dear wild hunters friends, here I am at the 66 meter shooting range at the Armeria Innocenti gun shop tunnel. Now I'm ready to rumble with my Sightmark Presidio 1.59 times 45, and my reloaded ammunition with Bascheri and Pellagri powder, and my quick detachable mount by Alessandro Contessa. Okay, at 66 meter I pre-zero. I'm going to pre-zero my combo. Okay, and then I will make my definitive zeroing at the shooting range in La Strassigna in order to manage everything about the HDR reticle, as I told you in studio before. So now let's start shooting and pre-zeroing our combo. Okay, I am outside the black bullseye, but not very much, just a little bit on the right side and a little bit up. Okay, so very few adjustments. I think at 66 meters I will give 4 click on the left and 5, 6 click down, and I should be inside the bullseye. Okay, let's go. Making all the adjustments, and then we will shoot a second shot. Okay, I am inside of the black bullseye, a little bit low and a little bit on the left side, so just one click up, two click on the right, and I'm okay. Okay, this was my first shot. Then I took a second shot just to confirm this one, and it was almost in the same place. Then I made all my adjustments. Was the third shot. Then made other adjustment, and this is my fourth and last shot, almost in the center of the black bullseye. So I'm very satisfied, everything went perfect. So now let's go to the shooting range for a definitive zeroing, and then we will go hunting.